Okay, folks, I think we might be live. I have a lot I need to get into today, but let's just go with the intro song. What's going down? I slept in. I meant to go live at 9:30, folks, but I was sleeping until, what was it? Almost 10 there. I give my deepest apologies, but I'm glad the show didn't go live or anything whatsoever. So it wasn't like I missed the show or anything. But thankfully, a lot actually went down in that time. We have a lot of Christorian X trauma to get into. We have some Andy Worski shit. I'll go into the Vickers. I'll cover some PPP. I'll check out Daddy Jim's Twitter. See what all's going on. Okay there, folks. It's time we get into it. I better pull up their Twitters there. They're not going to have it easy tonight. I might sound low energy, but let me assure you, these people are going to face justice. Just like earlier this afternoon, I put out a short promo on Christorian X, and now he's gone. This is what happens. My righteous swift sword will destroy these psychotic, deranged A-logs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start from the top. We're going to go with Ethan Ralph breaking the story. Let's see if I can even read through my camera here. I don't know. I'll have to read it out to the people. More after Christorian X helping cover a pedophile's tracks. And this is him speaking. Okay, let's go to the Discord message. Go through every email account, every login, and take a break. And make sure to delete all of your shit. This is Christorian X trying to cover up a pedophile. And there's more. There's a lot more. Here's another based neat samurai, Jay Danks. Great respect, peace be upon him. Maybe Christorian X wormed his way into Worski's DMs, helping ruin Pegmenko's interrogation. Perhaps there was an agreement for Andy to run defense for Pedmenko, or he'd stop helping the show. That's very possible. We know these people, these sex offenders, these pedophiles like Andy Worski, Christorian, and Flamenco. They all travel in the same groups, folks. And here's another based A-log, not an A-log, a neat samurai. Christorian X is also a tweaker and a cuck, and Pedmenko absolutely was good friends with Tux. He said he has a friend at Ralph's event, and when he was kicked out, he doxed the number. This was still part of the snipe. You can see, folks, it just keeps happening. There's so many texts, so many tweets. Hold on a second. It's telling me I have to log in. I hate this. This is the app. I don't need to get into it. The evils of big tech and global homo, but I can't stand it, folks. I should be able to read this without having to log in. Okay. Here's Ethan Ralph saying, Abortsky and PPP have canceled their show tonight in the wake of this bombshell. Their top staffer, is directly implicated in helping to cover up for an alleged pedophile, ladies and gentlemen. And Ralph announcing his live. Okay. And now he's breaking 1 hour ago. Christorian X deletes his Twitter entirely. His YouTube channel is gone too. He knew it's the end of the line. He knew the people have seen enough of him. He knew he stepped too far, and he needs to be punished. He is being punished. Okay. Andy Abortsky owns the abortion story I've been telling about for months. It's true, folks. I told you. Another quote from Ethan Ralph. Okay, that was just his pinned tweet. Let's see if Andy Worski himself has said anything, if he's afraid to address it or not. I have a feeling he won't address the issue of Christorian X at all. Ralph's an idiot. We're going to talk about the flam shit as well as any other big story. We filmed all day and you trained for 4 hours. You're talking about how intense your training regimen is and how you're doing all this, but then you're saying you're doing show prep all day. Andy's been harping on about this all day. We know he does nothing for the show. Okay, here's his tweet from 2 hours ago. Folks, bad news. No show today. We've been working on stuff nonstop behind the scenes. Andy Bursky does no work behind the scenes on the Kino Casino. Some new projects, and we have a juicy show for Kino Casino. We do it Friday. So much work behind the scenes. I wish we had time for it all. You do nothing all day. You do drugs. You go to the gym for like an hour or two. And you uploaded some shitty little video with this. Let's see what he has to say.
We miss ya. We miss doing the shows. We were just filming nonstop today. God, the footage looks so beautiful. I've been training for 4 hours.
Bullshit.
We're editing right now.
His idea of training for 4 hours is probably working out in like a reasonable set of reps and then sitting down to catch his breath for another 15 or 20 minutes. That's just called spending the day in a healthy way. It's not working out for 4, 5, 6 hours, getting punched in the stomach.
There's so much
for
going
3
on
consecutive
behind the
ones.
Holy shit. So, but we have an amazing show for Friday. We didn't want to rush out a show tonight.
You literally rush out the shows every night. We heard from many sources that Andy Worst only does a half hour of prep work. Oh my God, folks, did he have to treat this like it was an actual job? You know what he calls it? He pretends this is an actual job. But when he has to do work, he crumples, he cancels the show. It's shameful. And that's all Andy said. He doesn't speak to the fans. He only wants to play video games with people like Medicare Masochist or whoever the hell else he is. One of the other capos. And I'm going to get into PPP's Twitter. We'll see if anything's come out. We'll see if he has anything to say about this. And then we'll get into Mr. Vickers. Vicious Vickers. That he's going by now. Okay. Guess my advice to call his attorney was taken. Okay, he's just talking shit about Ethan Ralph again. Oh my God, I don't have anything to say about this piece of shit, Mr. Vickers there. He hasn't done anything too notable. I was gonna get into more Christorian X shit, but maybe actually wait. I heard he has a new thread on Kiwi Farms. I'm gonna see if I can pull up his thread. Let's see here. I think I'm just going to do it on my phone. My apologies. I'll put some music up while I find it. Hopefully those lawyers don't copyright strike it again.
Fact. Redfin sells homes faster than a...
My apologies. I just have to mute it for a real quick ad. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have it pulled up, and this is actually a good post. This is journalistic work from the Karen farms, the fan fiction farms, the life ruination farms, the slander farms, ladies and gentlemen. This is real work. This is from Mr. Bond. I'm going to read this out word by word. I think this is well done. Christorian X or Kinkle X, a gunt A-log, flamenco simp, writes love letters to Ralph, a pay pig to Jamie Jim, the cancer man, a cog and flamenco fan. He's allegedly an animal abuser too. We're going to get into it. So according to Mr. Bond, most of this is from another site. I'm too lazy to compile the original shit. What other site? Are there certain sites you're not allowed to mention on the Kiwi Farms, folks? But it had to happen at some point. I added a little commentary from what I know that isn't on the original, so maybe that helps a bit. Forgive my formatting. I don't ever post threads anywhere. This is a good man. He's a Chad. He's a lurker. He's righteous. He's doing God's work. All of these are excerpts from his Onion Farms with my community commentary spliced in. Folks, he's named the Onion Farms. We don't know. Gender Josh, he may be publishing his IP. He might be sending the Belarusians or the Serbian secret police after him. Anything could be happening with this scam called Kiwi Farms. Christorian X is a lolcow. Call him Kingle X. That's perfect. I don't know. Many of you may not follow Kiwi Farms or Generous Josh and his lore, but Kingle is a very entertaining person. If you know, you know. Okay, we call him Kingle X, Ethan Ralph's most autistic A-log, devising plans as evil as sending Ralph baby chicks. I forgot about this. There is so much evil with Ralph's A-log. I think about this. I just brushed over it. Yeah, he did. He was sending baby chicks to Ethan Ralph's house, and the hands chopped off. Okay. He links a post from another called Steely Dan in his OP. I'll read that out as it may be quite relevant to the situation. I distinctly remember one time in Gunt Chat, please unban me null, Christorian X was concocting a plan. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped past this here. Christorian X was concocting a plan to get Ralph arrested for animal abuse by sending a dozen baby chickens to the Gunt Shack, because Ralph would of course ignore them and let them starve to death. To which everyone immediately shot down the idea and mocked him for being a psycho, because nobody wanted to see cute baby chicks die. I used to think that he was just an excitable autist who was enthusiastic about shitting on Ralph, but that really changed my view of him and made me think he was a bit weird, to say the least. Oh, definitely weird there. And as somebody, I grew up with chickens and shit. I grew corn, all sorts of shit growing up. They don't just mail the chickens to your door. They send them to the post office, so they're somewhere air conditioned, and you ring them up. You come in and you leave with a pallet of little chicks. It's pretty cute. It's okay as far as ethics and A-logging goes. I don't use Discord. I don't use Twitter. Shit, my phone turned off. The only time I think about Ralph is when I'm here on Kiwi Farms. Ralph's entertainment for me. That's it. Personally, I feel like I'm going beyond. This is legit into A-log territory. Although I'm adding him with Lol Gunt on Twitter obviously isn't A-logging. Of course it's not. I've heard that there's a common through line, and myself included, that's interested in the antics of internet famous retards. Of not just autism, but letting other mental illnesses. I won't go into why I personally think this is, although he has a few ideas. Like most things in life, is best consumed in moderation. The ancient proverb is stared too long, eventually the gunt will stare back. This is a very good post. Oh, Radio Ruin, I'm sorry, I didn't see your message. You didn't really miss anything. This is a casual impromptu, just A-log. I'm currently just doing a deep dive on Christorian X. Am I cutting back bad? I have a new place. I have new Wi-Fi. I'm still getting things figured out. I'll have to rewatch this and See what's. Okay, I'm cutting out. Maybe I can get something real quick and see if that'll help. I don't know. If this is any clearer, that's good. And if it's not, I'll plug in a microphone or something when I do another stream. Okay. So this guy, this poster, he's very level headed. He knows what's going on. He knows how to enjoy lolcows and alpha males and all of that. Oh, about Christorian X? Well, yeah, it is a serious accusation, and it's true that he abuses animals, and he's covering up for Padminko. It's in his Kiwi Farms thread. It's in Ethan Ralph's Twitter, and I've already gotten into a little bit of it, but I've just started reading the Kiwi thread. And this is how it's old. People X, as we like to call him, the degenerate who was giving money to COG, Medicare, and even confirmed pedophiles like Fagmenko. Oh, the connection between Christorian X and the Kino Casino. Well, you know how Squire of Gothos, Persip, and other people like that used to be behind the scenes helping to produce the show? Well, Christorian X and what's he called? The Kinocopter. They've taken over the place as the behind the scenes production role of the show. So that's why you've seen there's more cheering on about getting Ralph sent to prison and all these sort of things. And I believe they've admitted that themselves, and I still have to find it here. But this has all happened publicly before, and we know what they're doing. Christorian X, he's a very deranged man. He is violent. He has a history with drug abuse. He's in the ear of Andy Worski. I'm sorry, I need to get reading this thread. We could be here all night. Kinko X, as we like to call him, is a degenerate pay pig. He's given money to COG, Mr. Medicare, and even pedophiles like Fagmenko. I already read that. Okay. In fact, Kinko X is one of Flamenco's Jannies. Not a good look there, sweetie. He seemed to stop posting on Kiwi Farms after Flam was deemed a pedophile by generous Josh. He hasn't posted in over a month, but still very active on his Twitter where he talks about Ethan Ralph all day. His big gay love letter he put on poll about Ethan Ralph. Let's read through some of this. It's legitimately as long as a college dissertation, so I'm not going to be reading all of this. Hey, Ethan Ralph, this is something he posted on poll, of all things, with his name. Before I get into the meat of it, I'm going to set the mask down for a few minutes and set aside any grinning and winking. I laugh at you, Ralph, and I really like doing it. You don't. You want to get this man sent to jail. You want to ruin his life. You want to take his time. You want to put him on the street. You want Mr. Vickers to use him as his personal mission. And you're speaking like some Reddit atheist who's enlightened by your intelligence, over laughing at a fat, gunted, alcoholic felon, Ethan Oliver Ralph. You have to compare yourself to this man. I don't understand. You can be down hard in life. My life isn't the best, and I assume that many of the people watching, that's the case too. But if you're comparing yourself morally, physically, in terms of happiness or spirituality or anything to Ethan Ralph, it's over for you. It's all over. And here's a super chat that Christorian X sent to Flamenco or the Kino Casino advising Flam, you need to clean every list, not just Steam. Opportunists will run this. He's telling them cover up the evidence of you being a pedophile, so quote unquote opportunists won't expose you. It's fucked, folks. Okay, here's another post. This is so fucking gay. I don't even want to read it out, but I will. Christorian X, here's a new member here. I'm going to show up to Ralph's house after he had the gall to insult my open letter. His fucking 3-page cringe fest that he put so much work into explaining in great detail his flaws and the consequences. He ignored me, claimed I smoke crack. I do not smoke crack. I write pages dedicated to the rape pig. This is just a delusion that Piggy has convinced himself to fit his distorted worldview. It's actually pitiable. He wasn't such an irredeemable piece of shit, harassing the Vickers for years. He's barely known them for 2 years. And he has every right to keep a diary that's been in his house for fucking the whole time it's existed. Okay, and let's get back to the beginning of this. He insulted the open letter. If you write a letter to me that's that fucking gay, and my response is just going to be that. Your letter is gay and you smoke drugs. Now fuck off. And he's mad about this. He's going to show up to his house because he knows Ralph can't defend himself. If he did this to a normal person, if a normal person was getting off work, got out of the shower, cracked open a beer, and some fat, deranged, crack-smoking A-log was at their door because they called them gay or told them to fuck off, they would be shot. They would be laying on the ground, and there would be police there to take the body away. It's unacceptable how this man thinks. And he has to defend the fact that he doesn't smoke crack. Like, is he that deep in the muck and mire of drug use that he has to go out of his way to explain that he's not doing crack cocaine? The TLDR, like this Kiwi says, if you bully me for my love letters, I'll come to your house and cry in the driveway. Exactly. And folks, it's a crying shame he's not bleeding out in that driveway. Of all people, Christorian X deserves to die. I'm serious about that. And he has this weird obligation in his mind. He thinks he needs to punish Ethan Ralph, show him the errors of his way completely artificially, and be the man that shows Ralph that he can't get away with being retarded on the internet. This is the mentality of many of these A-logs, large and small scale. They think they can either reform or punish these spurgs and speds on the internet who just mind their own business, entertaining the people in good or bad ways. But they take it upon themselves to be like the police of the internet. They want to sweep it up, but they don't even have the clout or the pedophile power level to be an internet janitor. It's sick. And I'm just going to go through the pinned posts because that's the rest of the OP on Christorian. Okay. Apparently once he said that Gucci's was attractive. Disgusting. This guy says I wish for great posts. Exactly. He writes all essays and essays. He indeed does not smoke crack. He admitted to smoking meth on Medicare Fimbot forums. And you know Medicare Fimbot, that tranny who's like 35, he will use your personal, if you go on his site and you upset him, he'll take your personal info and dox you and never look at that personal info. The website host is the host of these websites. He'll dox you and exactly use your site. People, it's one thing to own a site and use the back end of that site to spread their information over petty person. It should be an virtual site owner. You can say about Josh Moon. To take your random user who insults him. Say if I go on my Kiwi Farms account, which I don't have, by the way, I would never, ever use the site Kiwi Farms, and I called Josh fat or called him a pedophile or talked about Pizza Day, he wouldn't type into the back end and pull up my address and post pictures of my children like Christorian X or Vickers or Medicare Fimbot. He'd just tell me to fuck off, or he'd ban me from the thread or the live chat or whatever. He wouldn't even ban me from the site. He'd just ignore it. Okay. Wow, Christorian X with the $5 super chat. Let's go. This has been a long time coming, folks. Christorian X has needed a thread for months now. And I think Josh knows that these people are gay as it gets. He must be having some conversations with those Jennies for like the Ralph sector of the site that we need to do something, especially about the dogs like Kino and all. I saw he was banned a week or two ago, and that was amazing to see. These people were just spreading for the casino and against Ethan Ralph. Everybody's had enough of them. You could say the Kiwis, oh, they're some of the biggest A-logs out there. Everybody can disavow this. Everybody can get around the message that Ethan Ralph is not in the wrong here, and that the A-logs so far, they've decided to take everything fun out of the situation. I feel like I'm starting to run on fumes here, and we need to wrap this up. But to surmise, well, the whole incident is regarding Christorian X. He was telling Flamenco on a few occasions he needs to delete all of the evidence, all of it, of him being into kids, of his porn history during the official Godwinson stream. And this is when he was part of like the Kino Casino inner circle, trying to tell them all the shit. So he was directly subverting the Kino Casino, telling the man they had on to grill how to get out of being grilled successfully. He was actively sabotaging their show, and they're still letting him back, only for him to be outed as one of the biggest locales of fucking 2022 in this sector. And we've seen a lot of that. The tables have turned, and all the people who are trying to latch onto the Ralph Mail bandwagon, they're getting felted. Unless you're here in good faith and with righteousness like me, it's all over. You don't have much time left. I think we need to wrap it up now. Unless there's anything, I don't know. I've looked over everything, and I feel like I've covered all the last few days' happenings. And we're going to have to see as the Christorian shit develops, because, he hasn't gone all the way forward. Once he gets into this, enough of it. He'll be back somehow. He'll be wanting in DMs. We're going to deliver justice to these A-logs. They're not going to get away with it anymore. The people have finally woken up. We're no longer going to stand for the deranged life ruination of our most entertaining people. We have to be loud and proud and take a stand. I say, when we all go to Jim's driveway on that sacred day, we take the side of Ethan Ralph as protest. Even if you don't agree with everything Ethan Ralph's done, we must all stand in solidarity to make the internet a safer place for locals and autists. This is truly a holy cause. We're doing God's work here, and we have to keep up the offensive. We can't we can't be distracted. If Ethan Ralph does something, if he crashes his car, if he beats the ass of a female police officer, we can't let it distract us from our holy cause. Tombstone for these swine, these grifters, these literal killers in the case of Andy Worski. Okay, folks, I hope you have a good night. I finally said all there is.